if you go to our school website and go down to the bottom of the page and click on courses and open that up, you will see detailed descriptions of every class that we talk about this evening. So you can get further information right off of our website. So all students have 7 classes at LMS plus their crew class. 5 of those are their core classes and 2 are electives, or they may have 1 elective and 1 math or reading support class. The reason why we do this is because we want to make sure everybody has opportunities to participate in our elective programs that you heard Gavin and Leah talk about. That's what makes middle school experience a very unique time, and getting kids involved is extremely important. We're going to start off by talking about our science programs. Again, one of the very unique things that I don't know of any other middle school does is you have a choice of science programs to take at Lakeside Middle School. And it's very, very unique that we have these options available. All of our science programs are based on what's called the Next Generation Science Standards, NGSS. So whether you take a traditional science course or an engineering-based course or an agriculture-based course, they all cover the NGSS science standards, they're called. And we really take a lot of hands-on project-based approaches to science instruction. So as I stated, students will have a choice of 3 different types of science programs. Our 6th grade science program, again, covers the Next Generation Science Standards. And what they do, when you went to school, you probably remember one year you had earth science, and then life science the next year, and physical science the following year. Science does not follow that traditional path anymore with the NGSS standards. They integrate the life, earth, and physical science, and they start with what they call phenomena. So they start with some concept or something that may apply to life, earth, and physical science and teach the science through that phenomena. And the difference is in our program is the agriculture starts with some kind of agriculture phenomena, and our engineering program starts with some type of engineering phenomena. But they still cover all the required standards for that group for 6th grade. So we're going to start off by hearing from Mr. Mendoza about our Project Lead the Way science program. Mr. Mendoza, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I didn't lose you. That's good. I haven't.
Awesome. Perfect. Technology is working.
This is amazing.
Yes, finally. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Project Lead the Way, which is our engineering science program. And as Mr. Mull said, we do teach the Next Generation Science Standard, which is phenomena based. Our phenomena, though, is based on an engineering design problem that each student gets in 6th grade, and then they build that project, they work through that project, and then they learn the science behind it. For example, in 6th grade, one of the first things that we do is, you can see in this picture in the lower left corner here, they're building simple machines with the kit that we have. And from that simple machine and the engineering design problem that they get, we'll learn the science behind it, which would be the systems, how systems will transfer energy from one place to another. So they're building these gears and these simple machines out of gears, and then we learn the science of how energy transfers through the gears. You can see here we do several different projects. We have another couple of 6th grade projects over on the right side where they're building it's a model for my vacation home or my retirement home, and they have to design this home that will survive in the South Pacific because I'm going to get far away as I can. And they have to design this house that will survive earthquakes, will survive heavy flooding and storms, and will survive extreme heat, which allows us to talk about the transfer of thermal energy, and it leads into our weather and climate topics as well. So you can see how they're doing these hands-on projects in class and testing them and building them, but we're learning the science behind it as well. So as Mr. Mull takes us through the next slides, you can see a few more of the projects that we do through not only 6th grade, but 7th and 8th grade as well. So each year they get a different topic, and sixth grade is based on automation and robotics. So some of the things that we do is not just simple machines and learning about automation, but we learn robotics as well. And they learn how to code simple robots towards the end of the year. A few of these are seventh and eighth grade assignments as well and projects as well. But you can see down there in our lower left corner, my little robot that some of my students built a few years ago. But yeah, that's what we do. We build these projects and we learn the science behind them. Mr. Moll is going to take us to the next slide. And you can see here, there's over on the left side there, you can see that they're building these simple machines, and that led into a lot of talk about systems. And that not just talking about energy and systems, but how systems are all around us, like weather and in the earth, there's systems. So these projects will lead to a lot of different science topics. And that's what makes our engineering project or our engineering class so special. We've blended this Project Lead the Way curriculum, which is a full year of engineering curriculum, into our full year of science curriculum. And we just blended them together, and allows the kids to do these really cool engineering projects and then learn the science behind them. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to email me. My email is on the school website, and I'd love to have everybody into our science engineering program called Project Lead the Way at LMS. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Next up, Ms. Lent, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, good. I didn't lose you. I'm so good at deleting people. I have one of the very, very unique programs at LMS is our FFA program, which I'm sure many of you have heard. Future Farmers of America are familiar with that, with El Capitan High School. We are one of the very, very few fully accredited FFA programs in the state of California. As a matter of fact, we were the first middle school that ever got accredited. So Ms. Lent, do you want to take it away?
Sure. So hi, everyone. As Mr. Moll said, my name is Miss Lent, and I am the agriculture teacher here at Lakeside Middle School. We were established in 2017, and out of over 350 chapters in California, we are one of less than 10 middle school chapters. We offer vocational agriculture education classes for grades 6 through 8, and our students get to participate in a lot of fun different projects and events. We have a horticulture unit on site that the students actively manage and grow produce and crops in. They also show livestock at local fairs, including the East County, hold on, I have to read my kids' belt. Eastern San Diego County Junior Fair. There we go. They compete in public speaking contests. They organize and execute a lot of different fundraisers for our program. We have students on our leadership team who host events at and above the chapter or local school level, and attend conferences and contests, including competing in contests where they learn skills surrounding vet science and livestock judging. So if Mr. Moll wants to take us to the next slide. So since coming back in person, our students have had a lot of different successes and experiences. They've attended the San Diego Section Leadership Conference, the Southern Region Discovery Conference at the Lakeside Rodeo Grounds, where we had a combined total of 74 of our 180 members attending this conference with other students, where they got to meet students from local high schools and colleges, play games, get some leadership experience, and learn more about FFA. We also attended the Southern California Leadership Conference, and we've had a couple fundraisers. Some of you may have seen our flocking fundraiser. We earned over $200 for student conference fees, and actually all conferences this year for students have been paid in full by this fundraiser, so no students have seen any balances come through. We also do a lot of community service projects. We donated cans to the district for the Thanksgiving Can Food Drive. And we actually had 2 students compete in the San Diego Public Speaking Contest and move on to the Southern Region Contest, Violet Gillette and Barodi Hall, if you know them. And this was the first time middle schoolers have ever won at our section level, which was absolutely amazing. We have 1,500 students in our section, so including our middle schoolers, so huge contest. It was absolutely really, really amazing to have these 2 students bring home that honor for us. If Mr. Moll wants to show the next slide as well, we've got some pictures here of some of the different activities our students participate in. As you can see in the photos, our students, you can see the horticulture unit, flamingo flocking, some photos from some of our different events. So we take tours of El Capitan High School and work a lot with their FFA chapter. The bottom middle photo shows you that. And we also host a lot of events for our students. So in the bottom left corner, you'll see our students painting pumpkins. That was from our October chapter meeting. Our chapter bought pumpkins and paint for the students, and we all got together and painted pumpkins and just had fun and bonded together. And I believe we have, Mr. Mull, do we have one more slide? Nope, just kidding. All right, we just did one slide of photos. But so that kind of gives you a quick overview of our program. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will put my email in the chat. So that is available to you, and you can contact me at any time. We are also on social media at Lakeside Middle FFA. So we can be found on Instagram, Facebook, and we have a website in the works. So, and of course, you can always reach out to Mr. Mull, Ms. Santana, or anyone at our district office if you have questions or need more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lent, and thank you to all the students from FFA that helped with that. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to tell you a little bit about our core classes at 6th grade. This is a little different depending on if you are in the immersion program or not. If you are in the immersion program, you have your English language arts class taught in English and your social studies class taught totally in Spanish. I think we have Ms. Van Est is going to talk about our core classes, our 6th grade core.
I am here. Okay, hi, I'm Miss Van Ness. I'm actually Miss G now. I got married recently, but we haven't done the official name change, but I am a core teacher. I love 6th graders. I know the 6th grade core teachers feel the same way. We have definitely found our niche, and I just feel so lucky to be able to teach core at Lakeside Middle School. It's really so great because we're able to combine both of those curriculums. We have students for 2 periods. So for example, I have a 1-2 and then I have a 3-4, and it just really allows us more time to combine social studies and English and not just have separate assignments for both. So for example, in English, we have a requirement to have our students learn how to write and then write an expository essay or a report of information. So what we have done is we've been studying ancient Egypt, and our students are now writing the expository essay from what they've learned in social studies. So it's just a really great place to be. I love that we can combine both and we can really delve into both subjects. And then we also really get to know our students because we have them for 2 periods, which is really nice.
Thank you, Mrs. Van Est. And we have Mr. Dungan, our math teacher.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Dungan. I am a 8th grade math teacher here at LMS, and kind of walk you through different levels of math that we have. So in 6th grade math, there's a big emphasis on division and proportional reasoning. In 7th grade, the focus takes what they learned in 6th grade and applies it to integer work, so both positive and negative numbers, including fractions, decimals, percents, and also setting the stage for the major work that they'll do in 8th grade. So graphing linear functions, and also solving equations, multi-step equations, including fraction works there as well. In 8th grade, we have our standard Math 8 classes, which covers all the Math 8 standards, and we have 2 additional offerings at 8th grade. The first kind of piggyback off what Mr. Mendoza was talking about with the Project Lead the Way group is that we have a Project Lead the Way core with math and science. So if your child is in the Project Lead the Way group in 8th grade, they'll follow the students that are in their science class to the same math class, where we not only cover the Math 8 standards, but we also tie in things that they're learning in the science class and look at it through the lens of math. So one of the things that we're doing next week is we gathered a bunch of data from all of the PE classes, and we're going to take a look at that using a program called CodeApp to see if there are any associations between various things that we asked the students. And so we got about 350 pieces of data that we're going to look through and eventually present that data to the teachers to kind of show them anything that we found to be interesting. The other offering that we have is also new this year. It's a 2-period class, or it's our 2-period advanced class where students will get all of the Math 8 standards in the first half of the year, and in the second half of the year they will take integrated 1. So that way they're prepared for integrated 2 as a freshman in high school. And the reason why students would want to do this is that way they can, instead of having to double up in a certain class or a certain year, usually their junior year of high school, by taking integrated 3 in pre-cal, they'll be able to take 1 math class a year, and their senior year they'll be able to take calculus, which is usually looks really good on college transfer, or not college transcripts, but college applications. So if your students is interested in any of those programs, they're more than welcome to talk to me, or you can email me about those things, and I'd be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Another unique thing about Lakeside Middle School, again, you have choices of PE classes. So you can select our regular PE classes, our dance PE, or color guard. And no matter what, they do cover the fitness standards. They're required to cover all the fitness testing and all that that is done, but they do it in a little bit of a different way based on your child's interest. And I think we have Mrs. Neely here to tell us about PE.
Yes, you do. Hi, everybody.
Nikki.
Can everybody see me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I love regular PE. I've been teaching regular PE for 25 years. Yes, you heard that correctly, 25 years. And it's so different from elementary because you're with your elementary school teacher that you've been with all day, and that person takes you through your PE segment. Well, now we're just one of the 6 teachers that you're going to have during the day. And so we have expectations just like everybody else. And in middle school, we dress out. Then the curriculum, like, what are we going to do in PE? Is it going to look like recess? No, we have a lot more structure than we do for recess, but we are going to play a lot of group games, learn how to work together as a team, encourage one another and help each other do better. And then Mr. Tenney, who is a 8th and 7th grade teacher, I teach 6th and 7th, my favorite. We're really, really big on health, and especially coming out of, coming through this COVID stuff. We really want to get our kids back in shape or in shape. So our focus is really on health, their fitness level. And so we try to work on personal best, which it says right there, personal health best. So that's the general physical education in a nutshell. I'm looking forward to seeing these lovely faces and hoping that they won't be too worried about coming to middle school, because we sure are looking forward to seeing you. Thank you very much.
And we do ease them into it. So like the first week, we don't have you dress out. We teach you how to use the law. Everything is slow and easy. So you don't have to stress about the very first day of school. So please remember that. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Neely. Okay. One of the other phenomenal programs at LMS is our dance program. And I think Ms. Messina is here somewhere.
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so we have multiple different levels to our dance program, and the coolest part about it is dance counts as their PE class. So for those kids who are really into the performing arts, they can take dance as their PE class and still have 2 performing arts electives. Let's say that's drama and show choir, or let's say that's instrumental music and art. They still get their 2 electives, and dance counts as their actual PE class. We do all sorts of things. We still run the mile. We do all sorts of ab workouts and the physical activity, and we hit those PE standards and that physicality in terms of building that stamina through all sorts of different ways. Different levels include, we have a straight 6th grade dance class that is usually with Miss Playsted's group. So she has 1 or 2 sections of 6th grade dance. So if you're in 6th grade dance, you're predominantly with 6th graders. If you are in 7th or 8th grade, or if you've had dance in the past, you can take dance as with the 7th and 8th graders in my regular dance classes, or you can take dance in my advanced dance. So for anyone who's had a lot of outside dance and maybe have competed previously, they're welcome to audition for me, send me videos, or set up a time with me and we can evaluate them to see if their placement would be best served in my advanced dance class. That advanced dance class does compete around San Diego County in all sorts of dance competitions. We just recently, 2 weeks ago, took overall high point awards in both the large group and the small groups. So very, very exciting that our public school can actually compete with private studios at an intermediate to advanced level. My regular dance classes, you do not have to have any dance experience to come into my regular dance classes. We start from the beginning. We do have kids who have had dance previously with me, and I try to set it up a lot as like peer tutoring and buddy, like to kind of help everybody, because you know, once you know a step, you really start to master it once you have a chance, an opportunity to teach it to somebody else. So for that reason, I try to set up my class like that, so that students have a chance to kind of have that peer tutor and that kind of anonymity where they get to help other students as well. Like I said, we have the beginning level, we have the intermediate level, and we have the advanced level, all of which counts as your PE class. Yes, they do have to run the mile. They do not get out of running the mile. And basically, they do still have to dress out. So it is the same as the regular PE classes. They get their locker. You know, as a 6th grader, we take the first week, we teach them how to do it. They learn, you know, it's a different set of PE classes. Our classes wear all black. We have LMS dance t-shirts that they can wear and black leggings, just to separate the two classes when they're out on the PE field or running a mile. But we're very, very excited to get more kids in this program. This week happened to be our dance concerts. So it is a performance-based class, and these kids do actually perform for you. And so you do get to see the things that they are learning in class.
Thank you, Ms. Messina. Oh, and one quick question, Ms. Messina. I understand you actually have some boys in the dance program.
Yes, I do. I have, Mr. Mole is really good about putting all of my boys into predominantly one section, depending on their schedule. So it's kind of fun because we have, like, every year I try to do a really fun dance with the boys. This year they're doing Car Wash from Shark Tale. And it's pretty fun because they use like these cars and they have the, you know, they have their rags and it's, you know, the lights and the, you know, everybody's all having fun. So we try to do something really cool with the boys, just to kind of, you know, loosen it up. And it's always very entertaining to see what they come up with. It's awesome.
And next we get to our elective programs. Lots and lots of electives to choose from at Lakeside Middle School. Art, band and orchestra, show choir, chorus, drama. The list goes on and on and on. And again, like I said at the beginning, the great thing is we have so many choices. The problem is we have so many choices. So they're going to have to actually make some choices. All of these electives, again, there's complete descriptions of them on our webpage under course descriptions at the bottom of the webpage. Let's start off by Mrs. Messina again, telling us a little bit about our vocal music program.
Okay, so for our vocal music program, we have both audition-based and non-audition-based. If your child likes to sing in the shower, or likes to sing in the car, or in their bedroom where you can't hear them, then we have our beginning choir program, which doesn't require an audition. They don't have to sing or anything in order to get into that program. They just need to sign up on their elective choice form. We do a lot of things like basic music theory. The kids learn basic piano skills. So it's kind of a start to read music. It helps with their sight reading and sight singing. And then they also do put on performances in both the winter concert and the spring concert, and as well as community events like Spirit of Christmas, Western Days Parade, that kind of stuff. For our more advanced singers or anyone who has had a little more of a performing arts background, if they would like to audition for one of our 2 show choirs, we have a women's show choir, which is an intermediate level, and that is called Adrenaline. We also have an advanced show choir, which is our group called Aptitude. They actually do compete. So they travel from San Diego up to North County, all the way up to, I think they have a competition in Temecula this Friday, Burbank next Friday. Aptitude does do an overnight trip, so it's something fun for the kids. It's usually 2 nights where they get to do student rooms, they get to do competitions, they get to do performances at Knott's Berry Farm in the actual park. It's a very, big camaraderie. The kids in our show choirs definitely form like a family bond where they are, very protective of each other, and they're very, very close for usually 2 or 3 years, because I do have those kids over and over again. But it is a very cool experience. All of our sets that we do, so their performances have a theme. So this year, my Adrenaline Girls are doing a Roaring 20s. And then last year we did kind of a school theme. This year, my Aptitude kids are doing the Mean Girls. So it's like Mean Girls finding redemption. So it's all about like, okay, this is not really how we want to be. This is, everybody needs to get along. So it's like how it evolves, bringing out that positive message in it. Last year we did Neverland. So every year it changes, and it's themed. But we do all sorts of competitions around San Diego County. They always win top awards. So it's a very fun environment. We do have auditions for both Aptitude and Adrenaline. And those auditions are in April. So the last 2 weeks of April, when we come back from spring break, information will be coming out to all of the elementary schools. If you would like your child to participate, feel free to email me with any questions about what is required or what they might need. It's a very, very fun experience. And I'm very excited that the kids get to participate in stuff like this at the middle school level, because there's not a lot of middle schools that offer this.
Lots of unique programs at Lakeside Middle School. Another phenomenal program we have at Lakeside Middle School is our instrumental music program. Mr. Justison, are you there?
Yes, hello. My name is Jason Justison, and I teach band and orchestra classes at LMS. I also teach 5th grade at Lemoncrest and at Riverview and at Lakeside Farms, and at those schools I teach band and violin lessons once a week. So some of the students already know me from there. Those that don't and that are interested in learning to play an instrument in 6th grade, when you get to 6th grade, those classes get to be every day, not just once a week. And at the middle school, we can supply instruments for everybody to use that would like to borrow one. And we supply those instruments for free. So we can supply them all year long. Students that are just starting in music, that have never had any experience, that's fine. They don't need any experience. We teach them everything they need to know, how to learn how to read the music, how to hold the instrument, how to get started. And then Mr. Mole on the next slide have a little bit more information. So in the beginning classes, the students are generally 6th grade and they usually have no experience. However, many of the students from 5th grade that want to either switch an instrument or continue on would also go into the beginning classes. So whether it's beginning orchestra or beginning band, those classes are really a mix of beginning students that are brand new and some that are maybe had a little bit of experience in 5th grade. And then it shows what instruments would be available in each of the classes. The orchestra is just a string class with violin, viola, cello, and bass. And the band class would include all the different types of wind instruments and percussion. And when students get into those classes, if they like those classes and they want to keep going, then they can join into the band, advanced band classes and the advanced orchestra classes. So those classes do a bunch of performing, community events, the Lakeside Parade, school concerts. This year also going with the advanced classes, we're going to Knott's Berry Farm and performing at Knott's Berry Farm, and then enjoying the day. So they get to do a whole bunch of different kind of things that are pretty fun to be involved with. And then a lot of them get to keep going into high school. So many of the students keep going, and I like to see them continue on as much as possible. So they know a bunch of people throughout elementary, middle, and back into high school that are still doing the music events. Anybody that's interested can be in the class. And one other thing I did want to say about the students that are currently in 5th grade, most of them would go into a beginning orchestra or beginning band class if they want to continue, but there are some students that are doing really well in 5th grade and they practice a huge amount. And then I do allow and I invite some of those 5th grade students that are in 5th grade now to go straight into the advanced class. So if they're currently in a beginning 5th grade music class, I might be talking to parents, and if parents are interested in doing an advanced class next year, they can talk to me also. So thank you very much for being here.
And next up, we have a phenomenal drama program at Lakeside Middle School. Mr. Moe, the drama teacher.
Hi, my name is Mr. Mall, and I teach with Mrs. Ward in our 6th grade drama program. Going along with the philosophy of middle school, transitioning students slowly. We have a separate class just for 6th graders. We have 50 to 60 6th graders that join our drama program, and they put on a performance every year with lights and makeup and music and dance and singing and sets and everything else. Our performance this year is Jungle Book, and that will be happening on May 26th of this year. Hopefully things go well. Perhaps some of you parents would love to come and visit us and see our performance. Of course, it depends on how things in the world seem to go. Mrs. Ward is an amazing teacher. She is my co-teacher. Then we have a 7th and 8th grade drama program where another teacher joins us, Mrs. McNellan. She was actually a student of mine 20 something years ago at TDS. And now she's moved in and she's a teacher in our 7th and 8th grade drama program. And we put on a bigger play. One of the most important things about middle school is finding your place, where you belong, your niche. And that can be band, it can be orchestra, it can be FFA, it can be choir. Oftentimes it ends up being drama. And the children find lifelong friends in that program and oftentimes stay with us for all 3 years. We'll be performing Singing in the Rain in for our 7th and 8th grade drama class. I asked one of my ex-actors to share the screen with me today. So I brought along the star of The Wizard of Oz here. Oh, he's getting screened out. There he is, Toto, to say hello to everybody. He was in Wizard of Oz 7 years ago, and he's still hanging out with me. I also teach 7th and 8th grade woodshop, and I teach 7th and 8th grade ASB and 6th grade core. Students can transition, look forward to those things throughout their time in middle school. ASB puts on dances and student recognition and lunchtime activities and a bunch of other things. And woodshop, we build things out of wood, including the sets for our plays. And that's short, sweet, and all I have. Thank you very much.
The woodshop class is for 7th and 8th grade, though. We want to make sure that you understand it. And we're one of the very, very few middle schools that still has a woodshop program in the state of California. So it's a pretty unique program that we have here. We also have a digital art class that covers things like Photoshop, Illustrator, digital media, and all that stuff that I don't understand at all. But when I go into the class, it's really exciting having the kids explain it to me, even though I still can't understand what they're doing. We started a digital art class many years ago with our art teacher, and she had one section of digital art, and it's just blossomed. So now we have beginning digital art, advanced digital art, all kinds of things. We have a digital art teacher that just teaches that. And our art teacher focuses in on the visual art. Ms. Robledo, are you there?
Hello,
Oh, I didn't lose you, Jay.
I'm here. I just also wanted to say that my son was in The Wizard of Oz 7 years ago. He was a munchkin, and now he studies musical theater at the School of Creative and Performing Arts in San Diego. So we have some rising stars coming through our drama programs. I'm Mrs. Robledo. I'm the art teacher, and we have an amazing art studio at Lakeside Middle School where students have access to various media. Besides the digital media, we have watercolor, pastel, paint, paper mache, collage. Students make hands-on projects that they'll take home throughout the year. The curriculum is aligned with the California Standards for Visual Arts, and we foster growth and confidence in our emerging artists. The art studio is a safe place where students can express themselves and take risks and explore ideas. And my students always tell me that art class is relaxing and gives them an escape from the pressures of their day. Some students, if they're having a bad day, they'll come just hang out in the art studio and just be there and be creative. I like to find lots of opportunities for art students to participate in local art shows, exhibitions, and contests. And the students work on a digital art portfolio throughout the year that allows them to feature their best work and gives them experience writing artist statements and reflecting on their achievements. So there's a lot of social emotional learning going on in there, a lot of reflection, a lot of finding out who we are, what our strengths are, and just celebrating being in a wonderful place and being together with all these really great people. So I really encourage everyone to sign up for art, even if you think you're not creative. We learn lots of stuff. We learn about color theory, we learn some art history, we learn about different artists through different time periods. So it's a really fun class. It's relaxing. And even if you think you're not creative or you think you're not good at art, you're not an artist, sign up for art class. You'll really enjoy it. I'll teach you, you'll learn tons of stuff and you'll be really impressed.
And these are all student art pieces. It's phenomenal. Some of the things that they come up with, they just amaze me every time I see them working. Okay, then comes after school stuff. So Mrs. Neely.
I'm
after school
back.
Sports. Yes.
Just when you thought you got rid of me. Yes, so we have after school sports. Mr. Tenney, our wonderful physical education teacher, is so excited about offering football, soccer, and basketball after school 3 days a week, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And the kids gather at 3:15 and they play until 4 o'clock. Generally, we play against other schools, but we haven't done that in a couple of years. We're hoping that that gets started again with our new fresh group of 6th graders coming in next year. So we get to play other schools, hopefully. And we also have Junior Olympics for the first time this year since 2019. Yeah, it's been a while. So we find out who our junior Olympians are through their physical education classes. So there's the connect right there. This year, it's at El Capitan High School on Saturday, April 30th, barring any, mishaps, but we're going to be having our Junior Olympics. So excited about that. It really has nothing to do with after school sports, but I just wanted to throw it out there. So after school sports are for every level of player. You may be brand new to soccer, basketball, football. You just want to learn to play and you get that opportunity and it's wonderful. The kids have a great time after school and it goes from 3:15 until 4. It's free. Everything is provided for you and you just bring the fun.
Before all this COVID stuff hit, we used to participate in many track and field events in the community, races in the community, all kinds of stuff like that. And we don't have to worry about next year. We decided COVID will be over, so that'll be done. We're done with that.
Yes, we are.
We're kind of. And then we have our counselor, Ms.
Hello,
Carter.
everyone.
There she is.
I'm Mrs. Carter. I'm the school counselor. So part of my job is that I do support the social emotional piece for the children. I do that by meeting with kids individually. This year I have an intern, so we're doing some group counseling. We do have counseling therapists on campus that are through Wellness Together. And I was able to already get, oh gosh, there's probably like 40 kids that got to get therapy on campus this year. We really, really emphasize that we need to make sure that the kids are in a good place so that way they can learn. And we know if they're going through things in classes, they're not going to be paying attention. So that's our Wellness Together that you see on the screen. We use Rachel's challenge program to teach kind of skills and kindness and with our kiddos. Rachel Scott was the first one who unfortunately was killed in the Columbine shooting. But she preaches about kindness and we love to just share that with the kids and how we go about that. We also, sorry, I'm like train of thought here. We connect with a lot of people in the community. So Made to Change is one of the people we connect with. And we were able to get meals to lots of families over the holidays, so they didn't have to go without. We do touch base on college and career. Looking forward to doing more with that, because it's important that our kids are going from middle school to high school. But we do talk about the different pathways with our different sciences, and even our arts, because it does go into high school. And lastly, I want to talk about our crew class. On Wednesdays, everybody on campus has a crew class. Well, I should say all the teachers, Mr. Mole, Miss Santana, and myself. We have approximately 20 to 23 kids in our class. During that time, we teach social emotional lessons. It's our time that we get to build our own community and our relationships. We want to make sure that those kids have one person on campus that they know they can go to if they're struggling with anything. So that's on Wednesday mornings. We do it for 30 minutes, so they get to see us once a week, and they keep that same crew teacher for the entire year. So I have 7th graders, but I had my 6th graders last year, and it's so much fun to see them grow, and that community that we've created, we all just kind of keep going with each other. It's great.
Oh, another elective that we have for your non-immersion students is, if you have never spoken Spanish before, we have Spanish classes. Mrs. Van Est, are you there?
I am here. Hola, familias. How's everyone doing? Thank you so much for being here. I am Mrs. G, and I teach Spanish. I teach it to 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. So you can take it all 3 years. The 7th and 8th grade class, we use a high school textbook, but we go through it at a slower pace. It is so great to have this class that's offered, because learning another language just really helps improve academics overall. It helps students be aware of other cultures. It helps stimulate brain activity, and we have a really good time doing it. So we kind of go through our class unit by unit, and I just kind of choose units that are going to help them later on in the future when they go into high school, and also that are fun. So we're going to learn Spanish in a fun and engaging way. We practice with fun activities like conversations. We sing a lot of songs. We play a lot of games. We get to explore the Latin culture and also holidays as well. And we learn a lot of vocabulary along the way, and we really just instill that into our classroom curriculum and into the games. We play so many games, just different ways for us to be immersed in the language, so that we're seeing it and we're using it every day. Right now, what my 6th graders are doing is one of my favorite projects. We have been learning how to describe ourselves, how to introduce ourselves, how to ask how someone is and respond to that, and also express our likes and dislikes with activities, as well as like with objects and things. So right now, my students are working on these beautiful Google slides that they will then give as a presentation, demonstrating all about them with pictures of them, telling us what their name is, what their likes and what their dislikes are, describing themselves and what their favorite food is, what their age is, and then they will be presenting these to the class, and they're entirely in Spanish, and they will be speaking entirely in Spanish. So it's a fun class. They get to learn a new language, and it's also an elective that they can continue on with in 7th and 8th grade. So thank you.
And another class that we have available is our yearbook class, where they learn photography, photo editing, research, digital art, all that. And it's actually a practical application of all the digital art things that they learn. So another opportunity at LMS. Then we have our after school programs, like our guitar program. Mr. Duncan.
Hey, everybody. Me again. So our after-school guitar and ukulele program, the guitar is going into its 15th year, and ukulele is going into its 6th year. Um, we hold ukulele club on Mondays after school from 3:05 to 4, and we hold guitar on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school from the same times. In ukulele, we teach students the basics of ukulele. It's actually a really easy instrument to pick up. Most kids usually pick up the basics within 2-3 weeks or so, and then the rest of our time is just learning songs and jamming out with each other. So it's a fun little group that we have with ukulele. With guitar, we split the kids up into 2 different groups. So we have our beginners group, which is for students who have little to no experience. And so we teach them the basics of guitar, open scale, chords, power chords, things like that. And our advanced group, or after they've gone through the beginner for 1 year, then they join the advanced groups where they get to specialize. So they can continue learning and playing guitar, or they can choose to play bass. I teach drums, piano, etc. And so with the advanced groups, they form their own bands, and we teach them full songs. And at the end of the year, we put on a big concert with all of the groups, and it's usually a lot of fun. The best thing about this club is that there is no need to buy an instrument. We have approximately 3 dozen or so ukuleles right now, and about 50 or so guitars. We have a big sponsorship with Taylor Guitars, so I currently have about 20 or so baby Taylors sitting in my classroom. So if your child is interested in learning how to play any one of these instruments, they're more than welcome. There's no need to buy any instruments. Usually students with ukulele will pick one up later down the road, and same thing with guitar after they find that they're really interested in it. But don't feel like you have to rush out and go buy one. We have all the supplies needed.
Okay, one of the other things that we offer our incoming students in the middle of summer is our summer explorations. And it's usually in August, like a few weeks before school starts. We have students there all day from 8 a.m. to noon. We'll be emailing more information about that. This is to get the kids on the campus, get to know the teachers, explore the campus, play with the locks in the locker room, and do all kinds of stuff, and eat a bunch of junk food, and just make a fun day out of it to get them comfortable being on the campus. Our school times, we start at 8:40 and go till 3:05, except on Wednesdays, school ends at 1:05. We do have our ESS program, Extended Student Services, that provides services for 6 to 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The 6 a.m. to in the morning program is a fee-based program, so you need to talk to them about how that one works. But the after-school program is currently on a grant, so there is no charge for that. Again, you'd have to register through our ESS program. You have all kinds of things that go on during that time, all the way till 6 p.m. And we want to get parents involved at LMS too. Mrs. Bush, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mrs. Bush is our current PTSA president, and we want to get people and parents involved next year, don't we?
We do. We've had no parents on campus for too long. And so hopefully next year we'll be able to have the volunteers we need. And so please, if you are interested at all, it is an important part of our school environment. We are a lot in the background at middle school. It's much different than your elementary school PTA experience. It's a much simpler task. However, it's still very, very necessary. And we do provide things for sixth grade specifically, like we do the fundraising campaigns for the sixth grade camp. So students have an opportunity to earn the funds to go to camp. And we do things for every grade level. We are there for every student. We sponsor the Rachel's Challenge program that Mrs. Carter mentioned. And so just if you are interested at all, I am the current PTSA president, but it is my last year. I can't serve another term because I've done two, but I'm also a teacher at Lakeside Middle School, and I do teach sixth grade core. So I prefer to be my teacher rep on the PTSA and not an officer, but I would love to get more people involved with non-parent on campus policies. The last few years it's been a little bit more difficult. So if you are at all interested, please email me. We are happy to discuss any way you want to be involved, even if you don't take a position. If you just want to volunteer or help out at events, we do a snack bar for all of the concerts and events at night or afternoons, so we can use the help, even if it's a small capacity. We would love to have you involved.
Great. I know the next question that everybody's going to have is, well, how do we register for classes and how does that work? Well, we will have a class selection form on our website. Usually it's about spring break. We'll email all the parents and let them know when it's up and ready to go. And that will be right on that course description page that I told you about that's on our website. So that will be posted right there. You'll be able to select which classes and view all the descriptions of all the courses. Now, we've covered a whole lot this evening, and there's a whole lot more, I know. So if you have questions about any of the things that we talked about or anything else, you can email myself, Mrs. Santana, or Mrs. Carter anytime with your questions. And if you have questions about any of the programs such as band or show choir, or any of the things that you saw and you want to get more information about it, if you email us, we'll make sure it gets to the right person that can answer those questions for you. So do not hesitate to reach out to us at any time.